Hey everyone, this is Dalton at Dalton is TFs, and today we're taking a look at the Soul Voyager class figure, I guess. New mold, anyways, or retool. It's being sold with either Alphatron or Galvatron. I can't remember who else was put in that way because they all showed up at my store. Anyways, Blunderbuss and Broadside. Now, this guy's been getting a lot of controversy lately as far as whether it's good or bad. Well, let's take a look at that from my perspective. There we got the image there. And here you get your typical little spiel, and it says, Blunderbuss gives Broadside the ability to temporarily mass shift and turn into a hulking giant. So, typical G1-ness. Same as always. Anyways, going into one of his best of the three modes, this is, of course, the aircraft carrier. Very nicely done. Now, I pretty much agree with everyone that these stickers were a bad idea. I don't know why they didn't just do a tempograph, but Repro Labels has just announced their April-May update, so we can always get one of those. I don't know why I'm talking with that kind of inflection. Anyways, you got the number 36 here, of course, out of alignment, the Autobot symbol there, and he is riddled with these little pegs and posts. Now, some of them do work with Blunderbuss, which is just a repaint with a new face on the back of the Sovereign that came with Alphatron, but the main two that work are right here up in the front, just like on Alphatron. Same with these two. So these four are probably the only four that'll work with Blunderbuss in this mode. You can also stop it. You can also flip back the conning tower here, and that works as a seat for Blunderbuss to sit in. So I won't be doing that whatsoever because it looks ridiculous, and these are one of the problems with this guy. These keep collapsing on their own. I wish they had a tighter detent. But just looking over this, you got very nice looking aircraft carrier mode. Yes, you do have half the jet and robot, well, most 90% of the whole robot's here on the bottom. So anyways, looking from the top and sides, it looks pretty good as an aircraft carrier. It's got all the right portion, well, at least the part that you can see coming out of the water. There will be more coming down here, but let's not get into accuracies with vehicles. Let's go ahead and take a look at the reason why they have those pegs, and that is this little sprue of the aerial bots. You can actually see that's definitely silver bone. You got the windows molded in, you got the Fireflight and Slingshot, then you get Air Raid and Skydive, and even on the bottom they have the arms, legs, and heads molded in the bottom of these. Even on Silverbolt, you got the arms hanging off here, the chest pieces for the leg, or on the side of the legs. That is a great attention of detail. Now, I get why they couldn't paint this. I mean, that's really small details to be painting, but I've seen a lot of customizers, doing that. Now, if you want, you can take them off and put them all over the place. I'm probably not going to. I might at a later date, but right now these are staying on the sprue since he's mostly going to be in robot mode. So, and just so you can see what Blunderbuss looks like, so you can see that. Let's go ahead and do our quick. Oh, he also does come with a gun. Now this is a pretty close homage to his Generation 1 gun. It is in that weird translucent blue. I don't know why, and it's a Titan Master seat. So, I mean, like I said, pretty close. It's got this kind of blade thing here at the top. You can plug it in to the middle. Kind of reminds me of that scene from Revenge of the Fallen when Simmons calls up one of the battleships, and it's got the big railgun. Yeah. Pretty sad that I know that. So, anyways, get that out of here. And bring in his partial mold predecessor. We got Alphatron here. Now, as far as I know, I believe only this section here where the you know, just we'll take a look when we get to robot mode. Just a few parts are shown or are shared between the two though. So let's go ahead and take a look at his card. I should have taken this out beforehand. I don't care. So strength, as out of 6, you'd think he'd have more, being freaking huge. I mean, especially with Blunderbuss. Pretty fast. I mean, he's a jet, I guess, but as a boat, he'd kind of be pretty slow. Not too bad on intelligence. Fire blast kind of works. I mean, he only has the one gun. Again, that same very nice artwork. So get that out of here for now. And let's go ahead and get him into jet mode, if you can call it that. Go ahead and do it first. I want to pop these out. Which gives access to the wings. Put these back. Put the fins out. Go ahead and put that down. Fold down the landing gear. Bring up the conning tower. Fold down the antenna. These will are on double hinges, so you just rotate them back. Rotate this panel again, double hinge. Then from here, you want to take the legs, rotate them 90 degrees. Now this little tab on the side of the waist piece will go into this little slot here, just molded into the leg. So just like that, bring that down. Just like that, bring it down. Okay, I'm not doing something right here. Oh yeah, I am. It's just the way they've designed it. So I'm going to collapse these up just like they would be for the line mode on Alpha Trion. I'm going to make sure these fins are flat, and the arm, or these sections, I can't remember if they tab in or if they just sit back here. I think they just sit back here. Yeah. So there is our very poorly made jet mode. And plug the gun on there. I don't know. Sorry for the starting, but I have no idea how this is going anywhere. So we'll get that fixed up. Go ahead and open up the canopy here. Put Blunderbuss inside. This toy's a blunder. So you got that. Now the best way I found, and same with a lot of people, is to go ahead and bring these sections down. Take off the tail fins. Rotate them around. Oh, come on. Put them back on. Same thing with these ones. Flip around. And I'll do the same on this side. And you can go ahead and fold these sections around to help stabilize everything. Come on. It's kind of hard to do with all this space. And just go ahead and rotate these out. There we go. There's one way you can go about it. He still ends up very flat. I mean, it's still pretty much just the aircraft carrier, but kind of how the G1 was. I mean, you basically flipped around the aircraft carrier and folded out the wings. There's, you know, one way you can do is actually having the fins like they would be, keeping these folded up, but then the whole back end of the trying to keep these videos short for you guys, and everything seems to be going wrong, so ends up kind of sloping down. So I mean, your mileage may vary, so let me go ahead and get this all fixed up, and we'll go into the transformation for robot mode. Alright, so getting this guy into robot mode, it is pretty simple because he's nearly there already. So, go ahead and bring up the shoulders. Let Blunderbuss out of there. Go ahead and flip around these feet. Yeah, go ahead and have them back like that. Straighten all this out. Bring out the arms. And let's flip out these fists. Oh, there's the tab. On the other side, grab that tab, pull out the hand. Go ahead and flip the nose back. Actually, what you want to do before doing that is actually fold up the section here of the tarmac and fold that all down. Then from here, go ahead and line these panels up. Now this is the reason why I cut away, so I can get these put back together. So we can at least have them like that. Now if you have them swapped around, it'll be crisscrossing each other. So go ahead and flip these back. Just get everything straightened out here. Get that close back down. And here we have Broadside with Blunderbuss. Now, right off the bat, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, you got these wings. If you want to, you can go ahead and just fold them back out of the way, or at least to the sides. Have them stick out a little bit. He doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of red and a lot of that dark gray. But he just doesn't look too bad. I mean, he's probably one of the weaker ones of the series so far as the mold choice. Honestly, would have preferred like everything. Well, everything waist up is brand new. So let's go ahead and show that off with Alpha Try-On here. So as you can see, the legs for the most part are the same. From the knee down, they are the exact same mold, except for what they added for the, the wings, and what they took away from the lion mode. So, but everything else is new. All the joints, all the transformation stuff is completely different. Now, one thing I will say is this little button on his abdomen is on a hair trigger. I mean, you go to, and it's probably in a bad place too, because you go to move him or transform him and you barely touch it and these pop up. Which, it does a good job bulking up his head. And they actually do look like missile spam. So that is cool, but I just wish they would stop with this spring-loaded collar bone thing. Because he just as he is, he looks fine. He doesn't need any bulking up, and I'm sure if if Takara is still doing theirs, they'll probably include the different cartoon face, or they might just stick with this and make him look more accurate to the cartoon, a little bit less red, more of the lighter gray. But not too bad overall. The articulation, you get, see, there it goes again. So you have to have the wings out in order to get the shoulders to rotate. They are on a swivel hinge at the in and out, bicep swivel 9 degrees, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist, thighs in and out, got about to there, forward, back, not too far forward, not far back at all because of all this stuff here. You do have a thigh swivel, knee bends a little less than 90, well, It's about 90 degrees, but the way the upper part is molded, it looks like it's less, but it is still 90, and you get this weird movement here at the feet. So that's pretty much it for articulation. I mean, this guy's simple, but even the simplicity, it's not doing so good for him. Let's go ahead and bring in one of his other wrecker buddies that's a triple changer, and still by far one of the best triple changers ever to be made, right here. I just wish Hasbro would get a little bit better at it. Just go ahead and give him his gun. I mean, yeah, you have to sacrifice things, but I think there were way too many sacrifices with this guy. I don't hate him, so don't get me wrong on that. He's just very weak. And, you know, I'm still happy to have it in my collection. It's better than the G1 toy. I would certainly love to get a hold of the Fans Project Assaulter just to put on my record shelf, and this guy can just go on my chug shelf. And I will point out right now, be careful with these shoulder pauldrons, because they are already starting to get stress marks on my figure. And I've barely had this guy in and out of robot mode since I got him. And you do have these extra ports up here, so if you want to, you can plug the gun in up here. It's something I might do with Tidal Wave when I get him in. Of course, I'm getting the whole set, so. Also, wanted to go ahead and just show some detail off with his face. Now, this is kind of the same kind of gray paint we got on Megatron. You got the red visor there. I believe he had a blue visor in the cartoon or the original toy and comic. I'm not sure about that. But as I said, you know, I'm not angry at this figure. I'm not overjoyed. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm willing to accept it for what it is. And I hope they do something better with Broadside, but this is probably the best we're going to get for right now. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy we got an update to him, other than just, oh, let's repaint Alphatron straight up, and somehow Broadside's a lion instead of a jet. So that's pretty much it. I wish he had his battle axe, but you can probably get that on Shapeways, or if you want to get the Construct Bots, I know there's a mod that used the Construct Bots axe on here, so I don't know, that's up to you. Use it at your own discretion. So this has been Dalton at Daltonians TFs. Hope you guys liked this video of Broadside. I know it's a little bit longer than what I planned to, so like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out the links down in the description. It's got my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram page. Also, check out Bricks on the Dollar for Stasis Lock. That is every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's part of the whole Cool Table Network, so check all those shows out. Also, be sure to check out Cybercast every other Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, followed by Galactic Gumbo, usually around 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This past show we had Ben or Pia on as a special guest, so check out that video. I'll go ahead and put that down in the description for you guys to see. So, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all next time.